What's happening, people? What's happening? Kudos to you. First, I want to give honor and praise to my Savior, um, because it's only through Him that allows me to be able to be here, have conversations with you guys, talk to you guys, be able to breathe, and be able to see another day, regardless of whether or not it's raining or whether or not the sun is shining. He still allows for that to happen. So I want to give honor and praise to that, first of all. Second of all, I had advised that I was gonna, have a conversation about men. And the thing that we gotta look at is this. Men right now are in a very difficult place because you got a lot of guys that are walking around trying to figure out life, trying to figure out what their next move, trying to figure out how they're gonna be able to provide, try to figure out, what they have to do with their job. There's a lot of things that goes on. And then on top of that, you have to deal with the day-to-day basis of knowing that at any point in time you go outside that it can go completely left. We all know that as men. All men know that. And if you don't know that as a man, you might want to open your eyes. But your duty is to be able to understand and identify things that are happening around you. Know who you are. If you don't know who you are, then you need to find someone that can, you need to find out who you are. Or get around somebody that can kind of mentor you and kind of teach you as far as things that you need to look for. Not necessarily tell you what you need to do, but just really be there for you to kind of give you guidance, support, understanding. We got a lot of emotional men out here. A lot. There's a lot of emotional men out here. And unfortunately, we can't be in that space. Do you understand an emotional man? The percentages of an emotional man is in two categories: in jail or expired. Think about how many guys that are locked up right now, and you ask them, how long did it take you to get in this position? How long did it take you to get in this cell? And it's a matter of seconds. It's a matter of seconds of you making a rational decision to say whether or not I'm going to hurt somebody, expire someone, hit someone, react to someone. If you know what your value is, if you know who you are, then you'll know how to handle situations. Everything doesn't determine for you to sit here and swing on it. Everything doesn't determine for you to sit here and pull out steel on. Everything, you got certain situations that can be resolved by just, hey, agree to disagree. As long as you don't put your hands on somebody, listen, you live to see another day. As you become an elder or older gentleman, you have to move in that same way, because there's only so much so much bravado that you can do that will allow for you to be in situations, and then you turn around and someone unalives or does something to you. Is it worth it? Truly, is it worth it? We have got to get back in a space where men identify and they know who they are. Because guess what? If someone is doing something to you, you got to know that they're doing something to you and be able to be staying firm 10 toes down and say, hey, listen, that's not acceptable. I can't deal with that. And I'm not going to deal with it. And if you value me and our relationship, friendship, or whatever, you would not do those type of things. And stand firm. Stop being cake daddies. Stop being a cake daddy. Cake daddy is not cool. Because what you're doing is that you're trying to buy love. And anyone will tell you, when you try to buy love, you're going to end up losing. Because a woman has to have some type of choice to you. If she don't choose you, it's going to be very difficult for her to try to stay into a situation. It's going to be hard for you to even have a conversation with her without her not bringing up how she feels or what it supersedes you, or she can mistreat you, do all kind of things to you, and think that it's okay and it's cool. If you're dealing with a young lady that is aggressive, and that's not what you want, hey, baby, we just are not a good fit. We are not a good fit. But it's on you, because guess what? When the police are called, guess who they're gonna try to lock up? You. So please be understanding of, we have got to move in a different way. We have got to move in a place where we know our value, we understand who we are. Emotionally, we are matured to the point whereas we don't get caught up in a lot of different situations that we don't have no business being involved in at all. At all. We should not be caught up in a situation whereas something that has nothing to do with the price of tea in China. If it's not going to personally affect you, if no one is not putting their hands on you, listen, let it lie. Let it lie, because it's not going to be a good day. It's not. We got young guys that are reacting in violence. In violence. And they don't care who's around, who get hit. They don't care. How are you going to explain that? Or how do you think your children who need you is going to react to that? Because see, when you become a grown man, you got to do grown man shit. When you a boy, you still do boyish things. When are we going to become the men that we are supposed to be? When are we going to become the men that God is destined for us to be? To walk in your path. We got to stop all this foolishness. There is so many different things out here. We want what we want. We want to be with who we want to be with. But the thing about it is that they have to choose you. Because just because as a man, just because you choose a woman, if she don't choose you, it's not going to fly. It's not. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much you try to put into it. If she is not feeling you, it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how many flowers you buy. It doesn't matter how big the ring is. It doesn't matter how many square feet is in the home. If she don't respect you, if she don't honor you, if she don't put you in a situation where as you guys can have open conversation and to be honest, and you can be transparent, what are you doing? See, because what I've learned, I've had to learn how to be very tactful in the things that I say. And especially if I'm talking to a female, I have to understand that she's not going to take the information that I'm saying to her the same way that I can reply to another man. She's not. She's emotionally involved, and so anything that you say to her, if she cares about you, she's going to be very sensitive about it. So you have to be very, very wise how you speak. And you got to tread lightly. And unfortunately, the one thing that they ask is they want you to be transparent. They want you to be honest with them. But then they don't want to hear the honesty. So you as a man got to figure out a way that you can get your point across and not make them feel intimidated, that you're trying to give an ultimatum, you're trying to be their daddy or anything like that. Because at the end of the day, if you want me to be responsible for protection, provision, understanding, conversation, intimacy. See, I gotta understand all of those things about you. Everybody's not mentally set up to understand those things. Everyone is not in a mental capacity to say, okay, baby, I understand what you're saying. And if she's telling you something, and if you have a good woman, if you have a good partner, and you respect who they are, if they're giving you some type of insight, as a man, you have to be able to say, what's the validity on this? Is there any truth to this? If I need to change something that's going to make me a better person, why would I not listen to that? Why would I not be open to it? Because we got to be open to constructive criticism. Just like we want to give constructive criticism, we got to be open to it also. And hey man, do something with your kids. These kids are out here running amok. There's no leadership at home. There's no men at home. These women can't go out here and have these babies by themselves. They can't. So why are you bringing children into this world and you're not going to be there for them? You're not going to offer them no type of information for them to become a better person, a better individual, and they're carrying your name. What does that say about you as a man? What does it say? It says that, hey, you don't care about anybody but yourself. If you have children and you allow for your children to go out there and talk any kind of way, do all kind of things, don't care, be disrespectful to elders, that's a reflection of you. That's a reflection of you. I was raised to the point where if I was over at Miss Johnson's house messing up, Miss Johnson tapped my tail. And then when I got home, even if I didn't say anything, Miss Johnson had done already called my mom or my grandmother, whoever it was that raised you. And you got another one. And then either when your daddy or your grandfather came home, you got another one. So what did that do? That showed you that you can't get away with nothing. There's always somebody watching. And this is the thing about it. Anytime you're doing something, there's always somebody watching you. Even if you don't think it, somebody's still watching you. And they got cameras everywhere now. So why would you go out here and do something stupid? I don't get it. I don't get it. We move like we don't care, and then we don't care about the people that we hurt. What are we doing? Men, be men. Please be men. Don't allow for nobody to sit here and talk to you any kind of way. Don't allow for nobody to sit here and mistreat you any kind of way. Have a backbone, bruh. Get a backbone. I ain't telling you go out here and swing on nobody, but bruh, know your value. And if you don't know your value, work on yourself. Work on yourself. Please work on yourself. That's the only way that we're going to start to try to attempt to change these views, these looks of what they think about men. Now, I'm not telling you to accept anything. No, you don't have to accept anything. But you do have to be, because you are the head of your household, you are responsible for everything that happens in your home. Even when you're not there, you are responsible for the offspring and the children that you bring into this world. And just because you can buy them all this stuff, that doesn't mean that you're a daddy. You're just a person that can afford things, trinkets, shiny things, gaming systems. But if you're not interacting with your child, what's your purpose, bro? What is your purpose? I don't get it. I don't get it. And so we have to do better. We have to do better. We got to do better, because if we don't, where are we going to be a year from now? Where are we going to be 5 years from now? Where are our children going to be? Where are our families going to be? Now, I'm not trying to tell everybody to go out here and get involved in situations and do all these type of things, but what I'm trying to do is you as the head, you as the man, understand and identify, first of all, what it is that who you are, what it is that you like, what it is that you're not going to accept. Understand your value. Understand who you are. If you say you're a king, you got to walk and move like a king. But if you're a joker or a jester, and that's what you're trying to be, go ahead and do it. But understand, you're not a king. You're not a king. Your job is to entertain. Your job is to be on Channel 5, Channel 11, whatever news channels that there are. And if you do not want to be in a situation where, as for the rest of your life, you're in a 4x9 or 5x9, whatever the measurements are, looking out of a rectangle window, and while life passes you by, when you look at that window, cars are still moving, people are still walking, life is still going on, except yours. Your life is not going on. Your life is on hold. Or better yet, your life is no more. So, if you don't want to be in that situation, understand, we have to move in different ways. Also, one major thing. As a man, you got to be able to learn how to keep your head on the swivel. You got to learn how to keep your head on the swivel. You got to be able to identify, okay, hey, this is not going the way that it should go. It's time for me to recognize this is going to turn bad. Stop being a pop-up doll. You know, have you seen them little dolls when you know, something pops their head up? Don't be that. Understand that if you're in a volatile situation, it can turn bad real quick. And you don't have to be the one that's actually having an argument with someone. You can just be around. You know, understand that. Men, start being men. Start doing the things that you're supposed to do. Do the things that God is destined for you to be. It doesn't matter what financially situation you're in. You still got to be 10 toes down a man. It doesn't matter how tall you are, because at the end of the day, you still got to be a man. It doesn't matter whether or not you got a head full of hair, black beard. You still got to be a man. So let's be men. Let's be men. Let's be the men morally that we hold ourselves accountable. We always talk about we don't nobody want to be held accountable. We got to hold ourselves accountable also. We got to be able to say, hey, what am I doing that's diminishing my view or my characteristics of a man? Am I doing anything that is making my characteristics look bad? And if I'm doing that, then I gotta check. I gotta check and change that myself. But I gotta first be able to identify. You know what I'm saying? So I want you guys to take this message from the heart, man. I'm not trying to say anything to anyone about trying to make anybody do anything. Hey, pay attention. Pay attention. We got to start moving differently, because if not, our whole family structure is going to be gone. And if you don't want that, then that's fine. Stop having kids. If you don't want a family, stop having children, because children requires a dedication and something outside of your personal wants and needs. Men, you're going to sacrifice for your children. That's your offspring. If you start with them young, it doesn't take a lot for them when they get older. But if you don't apply your presence while they're young, how do you expect for them to know who you are when they get older? They don't know who you are. They don't know you. Let's get it. Let's get it together. Subscribe, like, share, comment. You know, red light, green light, all of it. Stop. You know, just whatever it is. I appreciate you guys. I really do. I appreciate the people that take the information that I'm saying to you. I appreciate the ones that make comments. I appreciate the ones that view my videos. I really do. And my heart goes out to you. And I hope that you get all the things that you want to have in life, and you get a better understanding of life. Smoke well, my friends, and enjoy.